let's do part 2 and finish off the books that are here in Uncle Buck's box of religious and occult books, just because it's been so interesting. Here is Coomaraswamy's Hinduism and Buddhism. I know they're a big thinker in this field. Ernest Wood, The Seven Rays. I know this is a way people are often talking about this, the subtle spiritual impulses, and you can have different rays. So it's a way of like being on a system, and you're one of the rays. I don't know much about it, but it's an idea that's out there for sure. Masons, Facts and Fiction. If you're into Masons, Henry Sadler. My grandfather's a Mason, so it always interests me. Yankee Beacon of Buddhist Light. Formerly published as Hammer on the Mountain. So this guy, Colonel Henry S. Olcott, he was one of the founders of Theosophy with Blavatsky, as we mentioned in our last video. So book on him. Then here is Death, Intermediate State, and Rebirth in Tibetan Buddhism. So this could be this is by, I like this, when it's by a recognized reincarnate Lama working with a Buddhist studies professor from the West is always an interesting way for books like this to get done. At the Table of the Grail, Magic and the Use of Imagine. Well, that looks interesting. Who is this by? It doesn't even say. Edited by John Matthews. Oh, is this even a collection of essays? It is. There's a whole bunch of contributors. This kind of stuff is so great. So this looked really good. Magic and the Use of the Imagination, with a whole bunch of different people talking about, it's the jewels of each of the work. These people who could write a whole book on a subject, and then they write like one essay. The Bodhisattva's Vow by Shisonam Richin, who's a famous writer on this kind of stuff. Then Shakespeare in the Light of the Sacred Art. There's a lot written about Shakespeare and magic and alchemy and how much he knew about that. He knew about a lot of stuff. He just had the ear for like how he could use all these different fields, but he did seem to know a particular lot was going on with mysticism and magic and things like that. Gnosis, Dr. Geddes McGraw on Christian thought and Gnosis. So coming from the Christian tradition. And just look at this guy. I don't know. There's so many great characters out there like this. They spent their whole life trying to write these helpful spiritual books for other people. It's just really beautiful. You run into some really beautiful cats that you wish you could meet. Henry Corbin on the Man of Light in Iranian Sufism, which is one of the important places in Sufism for sure. So this is an analysis of the great Iranian masters of Sufism by Dr. Corbin, from Avicenna through Zoroastrianism. Wow, this looks really good. Sufism to me is one of the most fascinating traditions in the world. My best friend is a Sufi, Anwar, and it's just, the stories are the best stories on the planet. Here's another Coomaraswamy, Christian and Oriental Philosophy of Art. That would be an interesting one for any of you art people out there. Get rid of this whole stack here. This is a whole bunch of like Theosophy tracts. Andy Besant. Maybe I won't do all of these right now. Just a whole bunch of Theosophy. It's not real books. The Temple and Man. This is architecture and ancient Egypt and medieval Hermeticism and cathedral architecture. And so it's kind of a history of architecture as a spiritual practice. So that sounds cool. It's a very Mason idea as well. Sacred Paths. So this is on yoga traditions by a whole bunch of different people, it looks like. By edited Essays on Wisdom, Love, and Mystical Realization by George Fullerstein. There's the man himself. This is the first Krishnamurti I ever read, Freedom from the Known. I listened to a lot of him when I was in my 20s in New York. It was a good place to do it. His writing's good. His lectures are really good. I really like listening to him. Mirror of the Intellect. These are essays on traditional science and sacred art. Oh, that sounds cool. Titus Burgerhardt. You have to be good with a name like that. He's a Swiss member of the traditional school, and he writes just about art, alchemy, things like that. Oh, this guy seems cool. Symbolism, mythology. Okay, this looks like a really cool book. Okay. Oh, Dion Fortune's Applied Magic. Look at that cover. What a jazzy cover. You know, if you don't know Dion Fortune, she's one of the great thinkers of the occult movement. Really practical magic stuff, like using your mind. One of the most important figures in 20th century occultism. I think she's great. I think she's really amazing. So this is a selection of her writings on magical and occult techniques. Here is an introduction to the Secret Doctrine by Matheson. So it's probably a theosophical work. Introduction to Sufi Doctrine. Oh, interesting. More interesting now. By Sri Muhammad Ashraf. Tantra, The Way of Action by Francis King, a practical guide to teachings and technique. The Joys of Hebrew by Louis Glenart, from Eroshon to Zohar, the informative and often humorous dictionary of 600 Hebrew words and expressions. That looks really cool. With excerpts from Wiesel and Naomi Shemer and people like that. A celebration of Hebrew language and culture. If you're into that, the graphic novel Yiddishkeit is amazing. It's a whole bunch of different graphic essays on the history of Yiddish. I really love that. This is Kabbalah, the Way of the Jewish Mystic. And they have a good quote on the back by Isaac Bashevis Singer, the great writer, Jewish writer. This is a work which explains the Kabbalah with as much clarity as it can be explained, with a genuine feeling for mystic lore. I recommend it for all readers. Wow. Singer himself said this is a great book. This is by Pearl Epstein. By the way, if you like any of these books and you can't understand or read the titles, just let me know in the comments and I'll find it and let you know. This is by Man and Evolution by Perdiker. He is a big thinker in this field. I've heard about him a lot. I don't think I've ever read him before, but yeah, it's kind of a more anthropological theosophist take on history. We're doing pretty good. 3 minutes left. I bet we'll get through all the books. The Gem Ornament of Manifold Oral Instructions. So this is Kalu Rinpoche, an Eastern Lama from Eastern Tibet. These books are often just so amazing. You know, look at this guy. He did so much work. Often they only publish a couple of books in their lifetime. So this looks like a great Rinpoche talking about what he learned. So the Gem Ornament. The Fourth Way by Upinski. He's a Gurdjieff student who's a big thinker. So this is his book, The Fourth Way. It's a guide for those who seek a true way of inner growth under conditions open to men and the women of today. Cool. And then here is Nimbus, the creation story according to Mr. G. I have no idea what this is. This is, I guess it's supposed to be funny. It's hitherto suppressed Fourth Way Tour de Force. So it seems like it's playing off of this book. But it's like a comedy. Outrageous, hilarious, and jolting. What a strange little book. That sounds cool. Buddhist Mahayana text. I've seen this book around a lot in a lot of used bookstores, so that's always a good sign that it's helpful. So I think this is... Oh, it's a Dover edition. Dover editions. Dover, God bless you. I'd love to be your spokesperson. Dover just collects the best of classics of illustration and all kinds of just classic works and puts them in nice covers. Gurdjieff, An Approach to His Ideas by Routledge and Keegan Paul. Pilgrims of the Star. This is autobiographies of a remarkable artist couple, Dilip Kumar Roy of India and Indira Devi, who is recognized as a psychic and mystic poet. Isn't that a sweet one? Pilgrims of the Stars, an artistic psychic couple. I love stuff like that. This is a Buddhist Bible with an intro by Houston Smith. So this must be a really great intro to Buddhism. So that looks really cool. All right, and I can grab these last couple here. The Quest of the Golden Stairs by Waite. This is an unusual book about, and it's like his synthesis of occult wisdom in a more understandable allegorical form. This is the allegory of Waite. Well, we're going to end on that. The rest of these aren't quite grabbing me. But The Quest of the Golden Stairs by Arthur Edward Waite.